Now I'm back at it again, and
What's up, fight fans and YouTube family? And we are back at it with another edition of Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin, and as you join in, could you please let me know that you can hear me loud and clear? I'm gonna check it real quick. What's up, fight fans? Here we go. So we have a lot to cover. We have a lot to cover, a lot to go. It's been some time since a couple days anyway, since I shot a live stream since the Subriel Matias interview with Camacho Rivera. Um, and we have some more coming about that. So stay tuned with that. We have some more audios and uh, some audios, but that they're um what the hell am I thinking here? They're not text messages, they're auto recordings. Wow, I really couldn't get that together, could I? So we have some more on that coming. And see if we can get both of these guys on a video chat. So we're gonna keep you posted, and that's gonna be going on at 7 o'clock today. So I'm actually getting on a little bit earlier to talk about some other things that are going on in the sport of boxing right now that I'm finding a little interesting. And William Zepeda just coming off an impressive victory, fourth round stoppage. Um, I have a friend of mine reaching out to Mr. William Zepeda, and I'm going to try to see if I can actually get a video interview with him. Fingers crossed. Uh, you know, I'm going through a third party on this, so hopefully I can get in on that because I would love to bring him to the show to let us know where he's going from here and who he wants from here. Okay. Speaking of which, Ryan Garcia never fails to to amaze. He says, I'm not gonna text on social media no more every day. Once again, he's back on social media. You know, it seems like the kid just can't get away. Salute. And I think that this fight is on schedule. I think he's going to make the fight. What I find interesting is now that Shakur Stevenson raised his hand to be an alternate just in case Ryan Garcia doesn't make this fight. Wait a minute. Doesn't Shakur Stevenson fight at the 135-pound weight division? Isn't he the WBC champion at 135? And this fight is being held at 140. So why is he sticking his nose into business that doesn't belong him? Wasn't he offered a fight against Devin Haney for 4 belts? So now he wants to put his name in the mix with this fight going on to give the allure that now he's willing to fight him for what, 1 belt? You didn't want to fight Devin Haney for all four. He didn't make you one offer, he made you two. And you didn't take that fight. But now all of a sudden, coming off a lackluster performance, Shakur Stevenson, and you don't got anything going on because he's scheduled to fight in Newark, New Jersey. But on the next to his name, it says to be determined. So Shakur Stevenson doesn't have an opponent. So he's out there throwing his fishing line back in the ring. By the way, weren't you retired? Didn't you say fuck the sport? You were going to walk away? You see, boxers say a lot of shit. They're always saying things, and then when we report them, sometimes we're stuck looking like liars, right? When in fact, look, for instance, wait, I'll get to the Terrence Crawford, the Terrence Crawford fight, right? It's rumored that that's a lie, okay? But that's another story. So Shakur Stevenson is getting his nose and trying to, like, say, oh, I'll fight the guy. If Ryan doesn't make it, I'll fight Devin Haney. find that hard to believe. So Oscar De La Hoya turns around and says, "Listen, don't worry about this fight. Ryan Garcia is going to make this fight. So this fight is going to go on. But if you want to fight somebody, why don't you fight William Zepeda? And give him a shot at that WBC." Now, by Shakur Stevenson opening his mouth through that Devin Haney shit, that gave Oscar De La Hoya the door he needed to open to try to get his guy, his fighter, because William Zepeda is signed to Golden Boy, right? Okay. So, and William Zepeda is not in line to fight for the 135-pound WBC championship of the world. I don't think he's in the top ranking. I know he's ranked high in the WBA, and I know he's ranked fairly high in the IBF. He's like 4 or 6 in the IBF, somewhere around there. With this win, he moves up, and I'm not sure where they placed him yet. So, and they haven't did it yet. So, where he moves up. So, in the WBA, he's also going to move up. So, those are the two belts that William Zepeda has a crack at, right? And one of the belt owners is Tank Davis. The other one is vacant. It seems like the 135-pound division at one time was a rich division, wasn't it? Now it looks like a ghost town. There is no one there. Tank Davis is there, and Shakur Stevenson, and they're like twiddling their fingers looking around. There ain't nobody there. As in fact, there's 2 vacant belts there. Now, you got to remember that, William Zepeda came off that loss. I'm sorry, let me back that up. I'm speaking fast here. You got to remember that George Camboza, right, and Loma is going to fight right now. And once they're done with that fight, then we're going to see who becomes the champion out of them. Then that's going to answer a few questions, and where Zepeda can fit in. You see, because Zepeda just fought. So he's going to have to come in on their schedule or kind of where, who. And then you really don't know. I'm assuming that Loma is going to win that fight against George Camboza. I'm assuming that he's going to win that fight. I got Loma in that fight. But if Camboza pulls off the upset, then it's him. So, you know, so I find it ironic that Shakur Stevenson is sticking his name in this and beating his chest like he's willing to fight Devin Haney. And I think that's clout chasing right there. I don't think he really wants that smoke. He didn't want it for 4 belts. You're going to convince me now he wants it for 1 belt? And you already have the belt. In fact, you have the same exact belt Devin Haney got, the WBC. You got it at 135. He's got it at 140. You can't convince me. Not like this, Shakur Stevenson. Not with the moves you've been making, my brother. And I believe in Shakur Stevenson. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a great fighter, in fact. And you got to remember, he's really young. So some of these things he's going through in the young part of his career, it's learning experiences. And some of these guys were pushed fairly quick along. Let's remember that Shakur Stevenson took on a lot of champions and was, because of his Olympic medal, he got a fast start in boxing. So I'll give him that much, okay? And I think that the young man needs a lot of to growing to do. But when we see things like this, I'm quick to point it out that Shakur Stevenson is now just attaching his name to the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight when he doesn't fit in this equation. They already have a standby, Barboza, at that weight, 140. You don't even belong here. So why are you even raising your hand? Cloud chasing, bro. And you got to call it for what it is. Shakur Stevenson needs to focus on Shakur Stevenson's shit. And he was all mad at Bob Arum because he didn't get the Navarrete fight. So okay, get a better fight. You owe us that much anyway, Shakur. Stop acting like you're gonna fight Devin Haney when we all know you're not gonna fight him. The world is you're just actually looking stupid right now at this point because you weren't gonna fight him for 4 belts. You're not gonna fight him for one, bro. Let's just cut the bullshit, bro. It's the truth. It's the truth, bro. What's up, guys? Salute. What up? Thank you for joining in at Round One Sports TV. You know, baby, up in here. Let's get these likes up. Can we get the likes up? Yo, you be getting me on my nameplate, huh? Yo, you must be a new subscriber, but everybody knows me, man. When it comes to them names, I ain't no good, bro. But if you can bear with the names and like see through it, I will always ask for, out of respect that, I'm working on that, but you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, listen, I think that the Ryan Garcia fight is gonna jump off. I think he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it there. Whether or not he's prime condition, there was another interview where Derek James and Ryan Garcia were, and Derek James was instructing him and telling him, I don't give a fuck. You need to come to the gym on Sunday. Now, if I'm your coach and I'm not even giving you that day off, that means that you may be behind schedule. Or you might be behind where I would like you to be at. And if I'm asking you to come in on the extra day on the low, you shouldn't be arguing with me on social media or letting these kind of tapes come out. See, sparring and the relationship between a coach and a fighter is sacred. Whatever we practice in the gym, whatever we talk about, that's between us. There should never be an audio of me and my coach ever hitting social media. I would feel a sense of betrayal if I was Derek James. I wouldn't think that was funny in any way. You know, Ryan Garcia has a habit of being this social media diva, and that's not what boxing is about. He needs to realize if you're going to be in this sport, you have to be in it 100%. And these are the most prime years of his career, his younger years. It's tough when you see a fighter that was once really good and he fucked around, got into the fucking limelight, and now he wants to try to make a comeback and he sees it's much difficult than what it is. Adrian Broner is still in his 30s. He's fairly young and he's still signed to Don King. Do I see him making a comeback? And every now and then he throws his name inside there like if he's going to do something, which is really interesting. Like a fighter like a Keith Thurman coming into the Tim Tszyu fight. Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu. Let's just think about this, right? Now this is crazy. This is crazy, right? When you talk about Errol Spence Jr., he fought 3 times in 5 years. And coming into the Terrence Crawford fight, I was like, shit, that's a lot. Like that's a lot of years and not a lot of activity. Only 3 fights in 5 years, you know, and then still spectators still judged him as at who he was, Errol Spence Jr., right? Okay. But Keith Thurman, no, he's breaking all barriers. This guy hasn't fought 5 times since 2013 or some shit like that. It has it been since 2000? Yeah. 5 times, bro. Yo, that is fucking ridiculous, man. Literally, this guy literally just got off his couch to fight arguably one of the most active champions we have today. If you was to look at every champion's activity for weight divisions, Tim Tszyu is one of the most active champions we have in boxing. He is the most active right now at 154. In fact, come to think about it. He is the most active champion. Like they say at 140. You have this debacle with um Ali Rivera and Subriel Matias. His father going all over social media and saying that Subriel, and a lot of YouTube channels. There's this guy. I saw him for a brief 20 seconds. Some punch drunk dude, right? And I guess he's exactly what his name is. Sounds punch drunk, bro. I don't know who pays him or what or how he does this, but his all he does is yell. Subriel has not fought anybody. Okay. If Subriel hasn't fought anybody, name me somebody in 140 that's fought anybody. I'll wait. Name me a champion in 140 that has done more than him. Name me one champion at 140 that's fought bigger names than him. So if you're not higher than him, how could you bring him down if the bar is set at him? If you let these guys tell it, they act like they making sense. No, he can only fight the guys that are there. If you're not familiar with their names, that's not my fault. If you don't follow boxing that good, but you got a boxing channel and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, that's not my fault. But I'm here to tell you, how could you down the greatest champion at 140 that got the most work in, fought the most times at 140? Where's your measuring stick? Who are you measuring him against? I know you're not measuring him against anybody else in a different division or a different fighter because that would be crazy talk. How could you judge me for somebody that's not in my division? You can only be held to the guys that are in your division, right? And if he's the greatest guy in the division, how the fuck is he not fighting anybody? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. He has no other champion that he can say is doing more at that division. But yet, he has no problem coming out and saying, yeah, he ain't fighting nobody. Who Subriel fought? No one. No one. Just because the words can come out your mouth doesn't make them true. In fact, he fought all the top guys, all the number one ranked opponents, all he fought title mandatories. If it's your mandatory, you gotta fight him. He fights the mandatory. But according to these guys, oh no, he hasn't fought anybody. Like once again, I said, just because your mouth can say it doesn't make it so. Punch drunk is a clown. Facts. Thank you. You see, the reason why a lot of fight fans of the Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor fight, I want to answer this question from my man here, boxing. Um, Leo, look, that's interesting because right after the Josh Taylor fight, a lot of people were caught in the moment, and we were all impressed with the performance that Teo did against Josh Taylor. And I was a prisoner in the moment. And I was giving Tio high praises because when it's due, it's due. Okay. And Tio, um, but when we went back and we looked at it, we also realized that Josh Taylor seemed to be on a decline. Leading into that Tio fight, his last fight, a lot of spectators believe he lost it. Then not wanting to fight again, being stripped leading into the Tio fight, they were like, the Catterall fight, it just wasn't a good look. So once Josh Taylor's name and his credibility as a boxer started to fall apart, Tio's win over him started to fall downwards. When Tio came off that performance with Jermaine Ortiz, that's what solidified it for the haters. The haters went and said, oh shit, look, Tio, he's not that good. And they saw the holes in his game. Make no mistake, Teo is still Teo. He can crack, and Teo can fight. But every now and then, you see fighters go through these episodes in their career where they forget that they even got to get better. They think that the skills that got them there was just enough. and merely working out and staying in shape would win them the fights. No, they forget that they're still students in a game, and they must get and evolve as the fighting game evolves with it. You see? And the fighter has to understand that. And I believe if Teo still dedicates himself, listen, there's no mistaking that Teo can box. He can fight. Teo understands things and he does some slick shit in the ring. Real slick shit. And he's like borderline high level shit. And then kind of like he falls asleep in the ring a little bit. Like he forgets a little. I don't know if he's just taking it off because I'm not him, but Teal did some pretty good shit throughout his career. I mean, remember in one fight, I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to remember the guy's name, where the guy threw a jab at Teal and Teal intelligently punched his bicep. He didn't block the jab, he hit it here so that the guy's jab went short at Teal. It didn't have full extension. You know, Teal's face would have been right there, right? Teal punches him here, makes him go like that, and instead of Teal going backward, he goes forward, cracks him, boom, boom, 2 shots, drops him. And I was like, oh shit, that was smart. That was smart. And to pick the jab speed, the guy's speed, he had already had his timing. That's high level shit right there. That is high level shit from that young man. So look, the boxing game is tough, and a lot of fans can be harsh. It's easy to judge a guy when you're sitting on your couch watching the TV. You're not feeling any of those punches, and you have no idea how tired that guy really is until he gets his second win and you see him turn it up again. You see, so boxing as a sport, it is tough, and there's a lot of criticism in it. And I believe Tio is on a low end right now, and I believe he needs a knockout. I believe he needs a spectacular knockout to boost, or a good slug. We always love them knockdown, drag out fights, don't we? So if he can give us a better performance, I believe, and I would love to revisit that Ortiz fight for Tio. I would love to see Tio and Ortiz.
You need
Yes. You know what I mean? I would love to see that. So I yeah, man. I have a lot to say about that, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. I would just love to see that fight again, you know? Let me read some of you guys' comments. Let me catch up to some of y'all. Y'all are typing a lot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. Frontline says the problem is this real boxers see all the YouTubers making more money, so they try the route and mess up their boxing careers. Kalashi. It's hard to balance the entertainment and the boxing part, and some fighters are not explained that when they come into the game. They take it real serious. They think that the facade is a way of life. Fighters like Floyd knew that whenever you put a camera in his face, then the gold chains, the shit talking goes out. But when Floyd never had a fight, you see him no gold chains, talking regular with his family, none of that stuff. So he understood the entertainment part. And a lot of these kids, they try to live that entertainment part like if it's real life. They don't understand that, you know, and I'm a firm believer in, we're in boxing. We're fighting. If I fucking shit talk too fucking bad, and if you're butthurt about it in a sport where we fight, well, then maybe you need to do something else. But there's also a way to shit talk with class. And I believe you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, don't talk about somebody's kids. Don't bring up people's moms and shit, you know? And if you slept with some dude's wife, don't do that, bro. Those things that people get shot over, you know? If you want to fight me, you can get my attention. There's other just say it. Baby, I want to fight you. Oh, you want to fight? Yeah, you want to go 5 strong to the mustache? Let's rock, baby. You know what I'm saying? We can get this together. And I also understand that there's other boxers trying to use one boxer to jump in line. And sometimes there's always going to be that young kid talking shit, right? And it depends. Is he that good to turn around and acknowledge him? Is the money right? Or is he just barking, has no followers, hasn't put in any work, and is just running his mouth? You see? And sometimes it seems like in today's day and age, you can do that. Look at Rolly, where he's at. I don't think Rolly's skills got him to be a world champion, but you want to know something? He's going to go down in the record books, ain't he? As a world champion. That fight, oh my God, let's not even talk about it, okay? But these are the type of things I mean, you know? Let's read some more of this. TM, what's up? Joe, what's up? Hector, what's up? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of fighters. Look, in the Latin rich culture of boxing, we do have Puerto Rico, which is considered United States, right? So, many Puerto Ricans are still proud, and we want to be recognized as Boricuas, okay? Which translated in English means brave lords, just in case anybody didn't know what the word Boricua ever meant. And translated in English, it means brave lords. Those what a Boricua is. Now, we support our Latin other fighters, and there's been numerous of times I've rooted for a Mexican fighter, Oscar De La Hoya and these guys coming up. Even though I used to hate Oscar, but when he was fighting somebody else, I did go for him. There's been a lot of times where there's been different Latin men, and Tio, I would cheer. I man, listen, Tio won me over with that fight with Loma. I remember the day me and my brother were talking, and I was like, man, maybe the young man can do it. My brother was like, yo, I think Loma's too much for him right now. And I was like, maybe. I was like, but man, you never know, Jose. I was telling my brother, I was like, and me and my brother, we secretly we were like rooting for Tio, right? But when we got into the like that sixth round, we started to believe. We were like, come on, Tio. And then he goes and fucks it up and puts his foot in his mouth and starts talking shit about Puerto Rican fighters. And that's what I mean about fighters saying stuff. There's ways to say shit to get my attention. You don't have to say grimy shit, bro. Now you're not just fighting Spanish fighters. You might walk out in the neighborhood and a real one might walk up on you. Yo, Teal, bro. You think we can't touch you? Like, you don't want that kind of shit. You don't want to make this a bigger, that there's just ways about going saying shit, bro. You know? Yeah, guys. Salute to everybody tuning in. Can we get these lights up? What's up, guys? Bang, bang. What up, baby? Boogie, what up? Kokui. Armando, what up? So, like, yeah, man. I look, I just think that there's other ways. And right now, Subriel Matias and this guy right here, Rivera, they're going back and forth. And it's mainly Rivera's dad, Salsa, that is really like, poking the bear, so to speak. He's got his attention. Now let's see if he really wants this fight. That door was wide open because there's not too many fighters that were wanting Subriel Matias and wanting to fight him. All of a sudden, Subriel Matias starts to make a little bit of name for himself, and there's all these guys. Yeah, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'll fight him. Is he coming? Is Subriel outside? Did he leave? Yeah, man, fuck Subriel, bro. Oh, he came back. Oh, hold on. Oh, yo. Come on, man. Half them dudes is shook. They just trying to like because they see he's on a rise. They really do. They see that he's starting to do some big things in the sport, and good for him. Good for him, man. You know, in fact, damn, where's my hold up. Nah, you know what? I'll put these up. I'm gonna go back to the page and I'm gonna throw them up so y'all can get some original pictures of Subriel Matias and Emmanuel Rodriguez. I'm gonna download them tonight and I'm gonna put them on my page because they got the same boxing promoter, and the boxing promoter, they my man took pictures of them when they were like promoting some fight. I'm not sure what fight it was. Man, I gotta show you. You know I come from the show me state. All my cards are always on the table with this. I'm not gonna be fake about it or be something that I'm not. Never. You guys know what I am, who I am, and how I started this. This is them right here in the photo. See, that's Subriel Matias and that's Emmanuel Rodriguez on the other side, and that's the boxing promoter in the middle with their two belts. He has two champions, and that was them. I believe I have another photo. That was them in the ring after the victory. Subriel Matias. Emmanuel Rodriguez is back there. In fact, he was at his fight. Yeah, that was another fight. And this is them in the locker room. I don't know if it was before the fight or after the fight. And the belt's right there. You can see it. And that was a photo of that one. Yeah, yeah, that's all of them. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna be putting those up and shit. You guys can check those out on the page. I'm definitely gonna throw those up for you guys. Listen, Zepeda last night, I went on last night and I covered the fight real quick, right? I've been real busy with this and work and the family and everything. So I happened to step in. I was a little tired. I wanted to watch the fight. I wasn't gonna stay on long, but I covered it. And Zepeda controlled the fight. You know, the first round was the only round that Maxi really tried to fight back. I think Zepeda was hitting him with some shots that were really stinging him, and he has a high rate and a high volume. But in fact, in other fights, he even threw more punches. If you're not familiar with William Zepeda, you could check out his highlights. He's been known to throw even more punches. So he's even looking a little bit more calculated now. I noticed it wasn't like just throw any punch up, down, up, down, up, down. You know, hit his arms, everything, make his arms wary and drop down. You know, he was battering them everywhere. It wasn't really like that. He was more like landing good shots, and he was really working the body really well. He had Maxie Hughes in all kinds of trouble. And let's remember that Maxie Hughes is coming off that fight with George Camboza, right? Where that many people thought that he won that fight, including myself, right? So he was coming off Maxie Hughes was coming off a good performance, even though he lost that fight. I didn't feel like he lost that fight. What about you guys? Any of you guys think that George Dare won that fight against Maxie Hughes? Let me know if anybody thinks that. And he did technically, but it was a good fight. And Zepeda made him look like last night. He just made him look outclassed. He outboxed him. Everything, everything, everything. Um, he systematically broke him down. And I was watching the fight and I was saying, "Oh, he's ready to go. He's ready to go. You just need to help him. just a little bit. And I was yelling. I was telling Zepeda, like, all he needed was a little bit of distance. Just, set your distance rather than throwing 20 punches. Just sit down and throw three hard punches for the same energy. I think he would have went just boom, 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 repeatedly. And if the referee would have saw him shelling up, taking three big shots like that, he would have stepped in. And there's your TKO. So, but still stopped it. And kudos to the corner and everybody for paying attention to Maxi. Um, that's what we want to see in the sport. Some of the time, some of these guys are just too damn tough for themselves. They're just too damn tough for themselves. And you got to step in. You got to step in and tell your fighter, look, live to see and fight another day. We'll be back. We'll be back. Tonight wasn't your night, kid. So it's tough sometimes to accept that in the moment when you want to fight. You want that um uh, Jose Luis Castillo, Jose Luis Castillo versus Diego Corrales. Everybody wants that kind of fight, that kind of comeback. Castillo had him in all kinds of trouble. If you've never seen that fight against Diego Corrales and Castillo, please go watch it. It's yo, listen, I gotta be honest. I was yelling, throw the fucking towel in. He's done. Bro, when Castillo knocked him down, not the first time in the round, but the second time, the way Corrales just fell down and his hands were like in the air like this. What's up, Bam Bam? Yo, what up, my man? He was just um out of it. And I was like, yo, throw the fucking towel in. That's enough. His eye. Look, and I was talking all kinds of shit. Look, they just letting this guy go. He doesn't got anything else. And then boom! And oh shit, Castillo goes back. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not happening. And he, in the moment, Diego Corrales didn't rush it. He didn't rush it. It was like he was seeing his head this big and he couldn't miss. And whoa! And when he snapped that jaw back and I saw him wiggle, I was like, oh shit. So he tries to get his composure back and he snaps a jab back at Diego. Man, Diego didn't go for that shit. He knew. He knew. You're putting on your best performer. I'm on poker face. And the Academy Award goes to not to you because I'm about to knock you out. And he did so. Yo, that was one of the best comebacks in a fight that I really was feeling bad for the other dude. And I was like, yo, y'all need to stop this shit. And it goes to show you that never count a fighter out. Never count a fighter's warrior spirit out. You don't, there's something you can't measure in sports, and that's your heart. There's no measuring stick for that. No one knows what you're built like until you're in that situation. There has been men that have been beaten, battered in the corner, and they're telling their coach, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. When everybody was telling Ali, champ, he's going to kill you. George Foreman's going to kill you. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And he was out there just stinging a jab in his face. Come on, Big George, that's all you got. And he was taking a little, and he drained the man's gas tank. And then when it was time, it was like, you could hear the Rocky music in the background. Yo, and that comeback was happening. It was going down. It was exciting times, right? You can never count a fighter out. But at the same time, you have to pay attention to your fighter. And not every fighter is going to do that. So it's tough. It's tough because, like I said, Diego Corrales, for me, I seen enough. I all the time. Yeah, he went down twice in that round. His eyes like this. He couldn't see out of that eye. I'm doing the math. Yeah, throw the towel in. I would have threw it in, man. And I would have cheated him out of that victory. Unfortunately, yeah, if I was his coach, he would have never got that victory. He would have got a loss. Look at that shit, huh? And that's why a lot of fighters always talk about going out on their shields. But when they do go down on their shield, it's hard to watch sometimes. They let Francis Ngannou go out on his shield and he got stretched. Yeah, that was crazy to watch, right? But it was exciting, and they gave him the fighters benefit of the doubt. We're not gonna draw any controversy by interrupting and the referee coming in to save you and stopping a fight when many people would have thought that he could have went on. Oh, you thought he could go on? Okay, continue. Wow, poof. I guess not, huh? Yeah, that's what happens right there. So, but yeah, man. Look, Brian, Devin, I think it's gonna happen. I think they'll get there. What kind of fight we're gonna get? I think it's gonna be over within 4 rounds. That's my prediction. I think Devin Haney is going to get him out of there before 4 rounds. I think Ryan Garcia, his emotions right now, I don't think he's able to control them. I'm not sure that on fight night, he's just able to just turn everything else on that's been going on in his life and just convince me that he's going to snap into a superior mindset of a boxer. And just like that. Um, I think he's gonna have a lot of mixed emotions going into the fight. He's gonna want to really hurt Devin Haney, and he's gonna walk into something big. Devin Haney is gonna go there more with an agenda. He's gonna have a plan. He's gonna be highly trained, and he's gonna be focused. And that's the right state that you want to be as a boxer going into your matchup. I don't believe that Ryan Garcia is going to meet him at that mental part of the game on the battlefield. And if it comes to a point where Ryan's second guessing himself whether or not he still wants to be in that ring, I don't think he's going to have the mental strength to keep it together. And at some point in the fight, he's going to be there in the fight, and Devin Haney's going to put him in these kind of situations. You see, Devin Haney. You also have to remember that he's also wanting to win over his fans. Coming off of that fight with Loma, where a lot of people were even booing him in his hometown. If you win enough in this game, the fans will turn on you. You win too much in any sport, all of a sudden they want the next best thing. They saw your underdog story. They already saw you win, you know? And for some reason, he got booed in Las Vegas. There's been many fighters that have been booed in their hometown, but they still pay him to see him fight. Win or lose, you want to see the fight. Floyd Mayweather got booed in Las Vegas several times. But guess what? That arena was packed time and time again, and he did major numbers on pay per view. Why? Because whether you wanted to see him win, you would want to see him lose, and you paid to see that. See, so Devin Haney is in that kind of a situation where that's what his performance was off his last fight. He's not going to show Ryan Garcia any mercy. You think Devin Haney gives two shit what mental game Ryan Garcia is doing, what he's going through in his life? Do you think that's Devin Haney's job to care about what he's going through? That's not his job. He only has one job, and that's to remain world champion at all cost. Destroy your opponent. That's it. He's not going out there trying to kill him because with respect, but he's doing his job. He's going to put Ryan Garcia down if given the opportunity. If Ryan Garcia is not up, on par or his game, that's not Devin Haney's fault. Now, is it? No, it isn't. You see? So, although I think that the way Oscar's talking, he sounds quite confident that this fight is going to happen. Okay. And if Oscar's like that, and it hasn't, because I saw that the athletic board commission stepped in and trying to see that if Ryan's mentally state is that of a boxer, and if they could send him in there. Ryan quickly fucking smashed that shit down and was like, look, I got a freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want. As long as my thoughts are not hurting anybody and I'm not physically hurting myself, you can't stop me from fighting. He was right. He was right. I was like, he's saying some crazy shit, but he's not doing crazy shit. You know what I mean? It's not like we're watching him walk around with his underwear on his head and he's got a woman bra on with high heels and some lipstick. That's a Kanye West. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't doing no crazy shit like that. He still has, he's still put together. He's just saying ridiculous shit. And that's what Ryan's saying. You can't say I'm crazy because I'm saying crazy shit, because you would have to lock up everybody in the world. So that's not enough for them to stop him, you know, because he technically is not doing crazy shit. So yeah, man. Listen, look, man. Ah, the crazy thing. What if fucking Ryan wins? I don't even want to talk about that or imagine that. What if Ryan fucking wins, bro? That would solidify all his bullshit in his head. His head would blow up. It would probably be the worst thing. And I thought off of a loss, off of Tank Davis would wake him up. That shit didn't wake him up. It seems like nothing can stop his hype train of bullshit, because that's what it is. Look, everyone has their place in this world. Ryan needs to understand that there's people that are working on the things that he's talking about. Just know that there's people working on that. Why don't you work on your job? And your job and your craft is boxing, the sweet science. Why don't you stay where we like you at? We like to see you as a boxer. So do that. Try that first, Ryan Garcia. Just stay in your lane. Stop trying to do too much. That's all. And give fight fans confidence that when we're paying our hard-earned money to see you fight, that we believe you have a chance. That this is not a fucking sympathy fucking fight. Oh, Ryan's going through all these emotions. Let's watch the fight. Boxing's not about sympathy. It's about skill, motherfucker. Like, yo, and I want to know, if I pay my money to watch your fight, that's exactly what I want to see. Competition. Whether win, lose, or draw, at least I see you come with my own two eyes. I will be able to determine if Ryan Garcia came there on that night to fight. I'm gonna be able to see it. Is this what I'm paying my money for? So, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that, that's what people are gonna, they tired of this shit. Trust me when I tell you. People are tired of him going back and forth saying all this crazy shit. Now getting on with Kanye West. This shit don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. They're talking about Ryan Garcia is talking about everything else but boxing. But boxing. It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is. It really is. Now, back to real fighting. I'm trying to lock in an interview to see if I could get William Zepeda to come on the channel. Um, I'm not sure if he'll respond to me. I'm not sure if he'll accept the interview. Fingers crossed. I'll shoot for the stars. It doesn't hurt to ask, right? See if he comes on and see if I can get an interview with him or future boxers. Um, I'm looking to start to see if I can become a regular, like a reporter for Top Rank, and go to some of these fights to see if they accept me. I'm shooting for media credentials right now as we speak. Um, so Monday morning, I'm putting in my application for my media credentials so that I can start going to fights and interviewing fighters, um, and things like that. I'm working on some bigger things to really bring you guys the exclusive in boxing news. I just don't want to sit at home behind a desk and claim to know it all. I really want to get out there and interview some fighters. This is something that I really love to do. You know, yeah, my girlfriend tells me what kind of job is this? I said, my job is I go interview the toughest fighters on the planet. And usually they hang around with some of the biggest mobsters and gangsters, criminals and corruption the world has ever seen over. That's where I want to go. That's who I want to hang around with. Um, I'm attracted to violence, and in some way or another, I have to be around it. And I understand it. I understand it because I understand myself. And that's where I feel weird enough safe that I'm at home. That's where I want to be. I don't know if anybody can understand that, but yeah, yeah, that's where I want to be. So listen, fight fans, I love chopping it up with you always around one sports talk. Yes, I always gonna have faith. I'm gonna have faith that I'll get these interviews and some of these things and these motherfuckers gonna have to let me in this game because I keep knocking on this door and they don't let me in. I'm gonna kick that bitch down one way or another. I'm gonna get in the room. I promise you guys that. Love you guys here from me to you guys. Round One Sports Talk. Let me give you guys and you guys have been wonderful. You guys have been great. I love the show and. I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round Talk. Good night, guys. I'll probably be going on later on. Let me check on the stats of my man's interview, and I'll check back in with you guys.